live.
Hey, good morning, everyone. How are you today? Welcome to Let's Talk BMM, Business, Money, and Mentorship. I'm your host, Denisha Forbes, CEO of Elon Microfinance Limited. It's my pleasure serving you today. And a gentle reminder, those of you who missed our 13th year celebration, you can go back and watch the video. Now, welcome everyone. I'm going to get Crystal to say hi to you. And of course, tag a friend, tell a friend, share the live. Of course, we'll be having lots of giveaways this week as well. Crystal, come along and say hi. And a lot of you did not get the meaning of our words that we've been using, that we have converted to positive meanings, of course, like what? And we gave it to you. I'm going to see who remembers the meaning. Come, Crystal, come and say hi.
Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone.
Okay, so let me go ahead and actually add our friends here. Let me join Elon's live, and let me put this phone and do not disturb. Actually add our friend. Good. So it's now on do not disturb, and I'm here. So it's time to welcome some of my fans and friends. So this is SCAD_J27. Welcome. This is delayed, so I don't get to see most persons. Welcome everyone. Welcome. Let me share the live as well with a couple of my friends. And I want to give away some credits to the early birds. So I'm sharing the live. Tag a friend, tell a friend, like, share, and follow. Guys, yes, I'm a little bit hoarse. Yes, I'm a little bit hoarse today, but we're gonna do it anyway. I'm sure this is not your first time hearing a rough voice, and I am sure you can handle it. You're big girls and boys. You can handle it. Okay. So I have shared the live with a few persons. Welcome, Rosh, Sexy, Jordry. Okay. All right. So I'm not seeing all the names. It's a little bit delayed here. Welcome everyone. Thanks again for joining us on Let's Talk BMM, Business, Money, and Mentorship. I'm your host, Denisha Forbes, CEO of Elon Microfinance Limited. Now, what's Let's Talk BMM? If you're just joining us for the first time, this is where we give you ideas and we help to give advice on business and how you can do a startup based on my personal experience. So business, money, and mentorship, this is where I discuss all the business topics that you can think of, all the pitfalls in business, positives, all the negatives, all the things that you're supposed to look out for, black swans as well. And speaking of black swan, today our topic will be the black swan. Now, I did promise you before that I will not get too technical with you, but we have been doing this show now for a period of time. And it's time to take you. I took you from baby stages. I shared my story, and now I am about to keep going a little bit deeper and a little bit more technical. But I promise you, the black swan is not that technical. Okay. Now, last week's topic was don't denounce your success because cowards have an opinion. Don't denounce your success because cowards have an opinion. If you missed last week's topic, you can go ahead and re-listen. Now, this week's topic is going to be the black swan. Nassim Taleb wrote a book called The Black Swan. I want to write the black swan implications. in business. Good. So it's going to be the Black Swan implication in business. Why do I feel as if this is not set properly? I hope everyone is seeing me clear. State if you're seeing me clear. Yes, it's just that it seems a little bit lean for me. It does. Not the entire board is showing. It seems as if it needs. Take it around a little bit more. Let me see if I can, if they can. This is not centered for some reason. I know. Okay. Look through my camera there and tell me that I'm okay. Well, I want to make sure that my audience is seeing me clearly. Good. That looks like it. Very good. Very good. Okay. All right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Before we get busy, that's Bees, Coley, Wifey. Welcome, Dainty. Welcome, Skilloff _ Animation. Okay. Welcome, Patricia Osborne. Welcome. I had a church sister once by the name of Osborne. Welcome, 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 guys. Tag a friend, tell a friend, and invite as much persons as you can. Now for the early birds that came out for this, let's give you a reward quickly. So I dip into my credit bag and I want to give you a credit. This looks like a credit from someone from last week that didn't get their credit. Oh, it was yours. Oh. Okay, all right. It's folded. Okay, so this is a flow credit. Are you ready? So here we go. 396-285-5358-7963. I hope someone caught that credit, because if you don't, you need to re-listen the live. Now, here we go again. Let's now move into the topics that I want to talk to you about. Before I head into the Black Swan topic, I was reading the book and I'm not even finished, but I thought that I could not be selfish and not start sharing some of the information that I have uncovered. Now, believe me, you will call me weird. I'm just at chapter 1 or maybe chapter 2. Now, what's a black swan and how does it impact or affects a business? It's now 14 minutes after 12 and we're behind. Now, they say, according to the internet, it's a metaphor that describes an event that comes as a surprise. So it's a metaphor that describes an event that comes as a surprise, that has a major impact, and also it is often inappropriately rationalized after the fact through the benefit of hindsight. So it is an outlier. It is a surprise. It is an event that you just didn't have any idea, no signs, you could not have predicted it. It's unpredictable. Okay. Where did the idea of black swans came from? So centuries ago, I think in the 1500s, I hope I'm correct, people thought that there were only white swans. And so Europeans discovered the first black swan, and so they had to rewrite history to tell a story of this consequence, okay, of this new event. So they make a story. So they rewrite it to give a different, they rewrite history by using a story to tell what a black swan is and give you a better experience. Now, examples of black swan. 9/11, September 9/11. Did anybody knew that was going to happen? No. World War I, that's a black swan. The pandemic, yes, COVID-19. Yes, it was. The Great Depression, the Black Monday, the Indian Ocean tsunami, earthquake and tsunami. Sorry. Yes, the Indian Ocean earthquake and tsunami. Those are black swans. So these are events that happen outside of your control. You had no knowledge. They have major impact and consequences, chronic consequences. So these are black swans. And these events too happen in businesses, okay? Now, I found another meaning on the internet for you, and it says it's a single event or observation that comes as a surprise with disproportionate consequences, practically and radically changing the way we view things or something. Okay? So it is an event or observation that comes as a surprise with disproportionate consequences. Did you remember that I also said that you are not able to predict it? But through hindsight, human beings believe that, yeah, me did know. You know, that sort of thing. Oh, yeah, me know. So it's only after the fact, human beings concoct and comes up with things to say that they knew. I think the coming of Jesus could be a black swan. Every day people say Jesus is coming, but in reality no one is prepared. Okay? Now, I think you call this thing creeping determinism. Creeping determinism. The common tendency for people to perceive past events as having been more predictable than they actually were. They call it creeping determinism. Okay? Now, you might be wondering, so why is Miss Forbes telling us about the black swan? Because in business, I'm here to teach you business, money, and mentorship. And in all three categories, you are going to come up on black swans. Okay? So they're not that common, but they exist. And so they come with great impacting consequences. And so I must tell you about some pitfalls that you're going to go through in your business, some black swans that are going to take place in business, and also to give you an idea of how you deal with it. So I want to tell you the story that Taleb used in the Black Swan. So I'm trying to pretty it up as much as possible, and instead of using the swan or the duck, we are going to use chicken. Why? Jamaicans love chicken. So think about you being a chicken. So for today, you're going to go and become a chicken. So pretend as if you are one of those chickens that are in the coop. So you are a chicken, and every day you meet this creature on two legs, and they have two hands, and they look really cute. And they come to you every day, and they bring you free food. Wow! This must be a magnificent creature. So this creature keeps coming day in, day out. They just seem like the nicest thing, the nicest person ever. And they just keep bringing you free food, free water. They don't even let you out to even go search for your own food and water. These people are great. They're called human beings. And these are some very special human beings because they come every day. No, 365 days has passed. Now, oh my God, 500 days has passed. And these people, they're coming every day. Free food, free water. And some of the black things outside that has claws that wanted to bite and eat me up, they literally build me a home, a cage, to protect me from those animals. So now I'm fully protected. I call these human beings my master, and they protect me. So every day, it's now the 800th day, they're still doing this. I don't know, but these people are the best, and I just love them until death do us part. I love these people. They keep providing for me. There's just no harm they're bringing to me. They will not let a hair on my head hurt. If I feel sick, they feed me medicine. Oh my God, thank God for these people called human beings. Because they just come to serve and protect me. Who could ever ask for something more than that? And on the 1000th day, I am still being fed. Now I'm fat and I look really good. And these people are taking care of me. And I have no care in the world. However, on day 1001, my master did not show up with any free food and free water. Instead, my master showed up with a butcher's knife. and cuts off my head and put me on Thanksgiving table. Oops, that's a black swan. Major, devastating, impacting consequences. No sign, no statistical evidence or analysis could have prepared this poor chicken for such deception and manipulation. There is no evidence, no past precedents showing that humans were bad, showing that these nice people that smile with him provided a home for him, and everything that's good, medicine, food, cared for it, would ever be the people that would kill and eat it. That you would never have even begin to imagine. It's mind-boggling to even think that someone that is doing all these things, great things for you, for 1,000 years, 10,000 years, and after the 10,001 year, that person is going to deceive you. See, the black swan in business is going to be situations like these. It's going to come in disguise. There's going to be no signs for you to predict it. And these are the things I want to tell you about today, about the implications of a black swan in your business. Now, if you look, I always say, have you ever heard all its life, the sheep has been told, be very careful of the fox. It will kill and eat you. But in the very end, do you know who eats the sheep? Its master. The one that goes out. Yes, the shepherd eventually kills and eats the sheep. But every day, the sheep was warned to be fearful. Stay away from fox and other animals. Tigers and lions, they will kill you. But someone was there fattening fowl, not from mongoose. And that was the shepherd. That was his investment. I want you to understand that governments, people, your very customers, your very staff, they will and can become black swans. Betrayal never comes from an enemy. Betrayal never comes from an enemy. I always say betrayal doesn't come from the unfamiliar. It's always familiar territory. So betrayal comes from familiar territory. Now, 3 things that you're going to look out for black swan before I get into the things that I'm going to list for you. It's an outer layer. That simply means if you have common things, the odd one out is really the black swan. Something that is on the extreme end. It's not common, it's not frequent, it's unfamiliar. It comes with extreme impact, and it is only explainable after the fact. Now you do have gray swans. So you have black swan, white swan, gray swan. And gray swan is a theory that they use to describe known unknowns. So you know that a man can run, but you don't know how fast he can run. Known unknowns, gray swans. So when you're aware that you don't know something, when you are aware that you don't know something, that's a gray swan. And that's an approach that you can use to help you to actually prepare for a black swan. Now, a black swan is an unknown. You don't know that you don't know that you don't know. So it's something that you're completely unaware of, and you're unaware that you're unaware that and you are unaware that you don't know. Okay? Oh, I didn't know that. Wow. Good. Now, when I did the review, I came up with 5 things that I observed in the black swan theory. Now, let me just pause and Okay, guys, let me just pause. Someone tell me what's the meaning of the word Black Swan? So the first person to tell me the meaning of the word Black Swan, I have a gift for you. So I will wait and I will look at the first message that I see of the person that tells me the meaning of the word Black Swan. Now, 5 things I observed before I get into the implications, because the implications will be very easy to write. But I definitely really wanted to tell you about these 5 observations. So implications of the Black Swan that I recognized was error of confirmation. And that is something that is very important to me because I too have fallen a victim of that. Error of confirmation. The seen versus the unseen. Okay? And one thing that they used to describe this, and I looked at what other persons said as well, just can't remember this I can't remember the gentleman's name. But this is the example he gives. He says, a lot of people said, billionaires are school dropouts. But you can find an argument for either side of the fence. If you want information on any topic, there's enough information out there to deceive you. There's enough information out there and hearsay and recommendations out there for you to deceive yourself or for you to appease yourself and for you to educate yourself. Either side of the fence. So if you are seeking information to build you, you can find it. And if you're seeking information to tear something down, you can find it as well. But the error of confirmation, this theory, they said, a lot of people always say billionaires are school dropouts. And what about Bill Gates and Richard Branson? And, the list goes on. Yes, it is true that some billionaires are school dropouts. But he's saying, can you really say that all school dropouts are billionaires? Nah, that argument would be flawed. But people will choose a side and find theory. And I think I heard him say something really cute, that people will seek approval from dead authorities just to validate their points. And that is so true. Whatever it is that will tell your story and make your statement more confirmatory, more statistically well proven, you are going to seek out authorities from the dead or the living to validate your topic. And so what we see and what we don't see, errors in confirmation. Not because you don't see something doesn't mean that you should invalidate it for something else that you have seen that is only proven to you, like in the story of the chicken. Just because you could not see the underlying. You remember when I told you in one of my shows that there was no pure altruism? And it seemed controversial, didn't it? You remember I tell you, there's always an underlying motive that you don't know about. See, that chicken experienced death on someone's dinner table on Sunday or Wednesday or Monday. He had no idea, but the human being had planned to kill him, which had more information about him. That, hey, after 6 weeks he's going to be ready and he can be killed at that time. And if it wasn't a chicken or something else, he could say after 1,000 days, after 1,000 years, he would be ready, and that's the time I'm going to kill. They knew the date of Thanksgiving already. They knew the date of their birthdays already. They knew how they had to fat up the chicken and the cow to be slaughtered. You did not know. So not because something is shown to you in good. When it's peace and safety, then it will be sudden destruction. And you don't know. So business is just booming, booming, booming now. And everything is going on great and fine. But there is going to become sudden destruction that you did not plan for. Okay, so that's where the error of confirmation comes in. So be careful what it is that you're using to confirm your ideologies, to confirm things that you want in your business and in your personal lives, okay? I won't stay too long. Let's move. Do you have the idea of false narrative? And this says story sells, facts tell. So in other words, what they're really saying is that people will listen to story and buy into a story over a statistic. Hey Google, what's the probability of dying on a what? Oh, my phone is gonna answer me now. Okay, so what's the probability of dying if you do a skydive? And it will tell you 1 in 120,000 people. Nah, yada yada. You are going skydiving anyway because that's 1 in 120,000 people. But the gentleman at the skydive event, if he should tell you that Marsha died last week and her husband and the camera crew, your chances or your likelihood of doing the skydive is going to decrease. Why? Because you heard someone just die. You no longer believe that you could be 1 in 120,000. You don't see it that way anymore. So the narrative of fallacy, you have to be careful because that could be the first 1 in 120,000. So maybe you wouldn't die tomorrow, but just because you heard that, you're not going again. You're not motivated. And then you have we're not programmed for a black swan, they said, because society and school has programmed us to look at mediocre average, to look at averages, to look at past data, to look at statistics. And a black swan is on the extremist side. A black swan is an outlier. So it is something that will not happen often. It's a rare event. It's a surprise event. And so you're never prepared for the unforeseen because you're taught to read statistical, historical data and averages, and look back at precedences. So that blocks your mind from looking at something that's an outlier or an extremisant. Because in the Black Swan book, you have mediocrisant versus extremisant. And that's just the mediocre, the familiar, and then the land of the unfamiliar. So let's, another way to explain this is someone writing a book and over 9 years, nothing happened and it's drained and it's sad. But in year 10, the book became a blockbuster. So, and that's an extremisant. That's a black swan. You understand? Good. Now, they have, I'm going to 2 more and run away into our topics. Just wanted you to get a feel of the book. You should go read it. Distortion of silent evidence. And this is what they said. Voyagers from the 15th century, this is how they explained it, survived many storms, they said, by praying. So does that mean the people that died did not pray? Or does that mean that if you pray, you have a higher possibility of survival? But you wouldn't know if the people that died did not pray, since they couldn't come back from the bottom of the ocean to tell you, right? Now, when they're speaking of distortion of silence evidence, track your mind back to, say, 9/11. If before 9/11, a person called Denisha Forbes came up with an idea that they should have put bulletproof doors on plane and all type of stuff. Say all the statistical things that you could do. Make sure no liquid goes on the plane. Let's say they never had all of that. And I came up, I'm a nobody, and I just came up and tell them that they should do this because there's a possibility that someone could sneak liquid onto the plane and they could use it for a bomb and all the blah, blah, blah. And they would never have listened to me. They would never listen to me, and they would just denounce what I have to say and rubbish it. But after 9/11 occurs, the person that implements these rules that Denisha Forbes was recommending before is going to take the hero award. They're going to get the award because they came up with something that would, in the middle of a disaster, that could prevent future disaster. So that person is going to get awarded and get all the spotlight. So it's distortion of silent evidence because there was no disaster before, and I am recommending the thing before, no one will listen until there's a disaster. So the persons that sometimes that are really working hard in your business and other things and other places in your personal life, the people that are really important to you, you know, just because what they're recommending, you don't see the value now, doesn't mean that it's invaluable. So I won't even go into the others because time is going. I just wanted to give you an idea. Let's talk to you about 10 things that I wrote down. 10 Black Swan events. Let's see if anyone responded. Okay, no one responded to the question. Okay.
Ask it again. We have
Okay, so I'm going to ask the question again. I even forget my own question.
Black Swan. What is a Black Swan?
Okay, tell me the meaning of the word Black Swan, and I have a gift for you. Okay? And I don't know who won the credit. Nobody told me, but I guess they'll go back and listen. And I probably will read it out at the end again. Alright, so here's the first one. We don't want to take up too much time. Here's the first one. Your supplier has suddenly gone out of business. You are running a buying and selling business where you sell clothes, certain type of clothing. Could be a special, but your supplier has suddenly closed business. I'm trying to put less words on the board. Your supplier has suddenly closed business, not because maybe they had a hurricane, maybe there was a bomb, maybe there was a war. You don't know, but now you have no one to supply the special jackets that you sell, and you don't know where to get it. That's a Black Swan. You've been buying from this supplier for the past 5 years that you've been in business, and you did not diversify in any way and get a backup supplier. And now you woke up today, and suddenly this supplier is no longer in business. And this is the person that makes these jackets that you sell. Where are you going to get these jackets at such short notice? Your business is going to be grossly implicated because you don't have the goods to sell now. You don't have someone available right now to sell it. So for a couple of months, could be years, it depends where you're going to find this person if you never put contingency measures in place to have a second supplier in the event that that one didn't come through. You weren't supposed to lay all your eggs in one basket, but you did. So you weren't prepared for an outlier. You weren't prepared for a Black Swan. So how do you become prepared? Always have a contingency plan. If you have a major supplier that makes these jackets, you always have to have a backup supplier that if you make 100 jackets, give your regular supplier 90 and give that backup supplier 10. In the event of anything, you can easily transition over into your backup supplier. Okay, somebody has a question. Okay, this is simply Charmille. Simply Charmille. It refers to those events which are quite difficult to predict in the normal course of business. These events are normally unpredictable, random, and unexpected. However, they are high-impact events. Wow! Is this my college graduates? So, Charmille, I'm going to give you an option to choose your gift right now. Hold on. Write down her name for me.
Already.
Charmille, I don't know what your body size is, but this is one of our shirts marked Normal Alive. So, this is the Elon piece that we've done, and we only have 18 pieces. and we've already given away some. So I don't know. This one is a large. We should have them in, and it's stretched to fit, so you don't have to worry. You can choose from this, or you can choose one of our water bottles. This is our plastic water bottle. So you let me know which one you prefer. Text it there and let me know, and then you're gonna contact 876-909-8412 to pick up your gift. But if these doesn't entice you, it's fine. I can give you a 200 credit. I want to please you. 876-909-8412. Thank you so much, Charmel. I really appreciate you paying attention. Okay, guys, let's move on to the next. Also, I was saying before I move on, you would have to start figuring out selling something else. I don't know what it is, but it is even too late. Today, when you wake up and you can't get your supplier to supply you, and you have customers demanding 1,000 pieces that was supposed to come to you today, but someone shot your supplier and killed your supplier. Some earthquake, some hurricane, something happened and your supplier is out of business. Today, you got the bad news. What are you going to do? This is a black swan. This is going to be a pitfall for you. This is a critical, unpredictable event. You were not prepared for this. So I'm asking you, are you going to start selling something new? Where are you going to get it? Who is going to supply you? How fast will it come? Will your market like it? Did you prepare contingency plan in your business? If these weren't selling, do you have something secondary that you were selling? And you will have to diversify. Or are you going to wait until it's too late to diversify? There's a lot of questions to be answered there. In the book they use, it's called, let's see, Mandelbrottian randomness. Mandelbrottian randomness to make the decisions when they are using the black swan. So you must expect that there will be black swan events. Let's move along. The government has put in legislation. And guys, all of these things that I'm telling you, my business has experience. If not 90%, the whole 100% of these things that I'm putting on. And I was prepared. I was prepared because I don't live in mediocre world or land. I always look for extreme sand, okay? Because I know when you live mediocre, when you expect the average things happens to you. So I stay over on the outer layer side. So I'm always prepared. So I never have to get ready. I'm always prepared for the worst and the best. You too should be prepared for that. So the government has implemented new legislation. This is not even implemented. Where's the MENTED? I better move this before someone said I can't spell. Okay, let's see if it can hold. Guys, I tried. It can't hold everything. Alright, so the government has implemented new legislations for your industry, for your business. You might say, it's not a black swan. I heard them talking about it. Did you know what the legislations carried? Did you know everything that was going to be in the legislation? Did you know how it was going to impact your business? You heard there was going to be new legislation. But did you know to what extent it was going to cripple your business or allow your business to grow? Did you know how much it was going to cost you to prepare for this legislation? You couldn't have known. That's true. Because especially it is unprecedented. You never had one before. And so you are never prepared for the magnitude of cash that you will have to have just to get prepared and ready for the legislation. Not even to pay to get the legislation yet. Because you always have to pay for everything with government. So what do? You're either going to sell your business, you're either going to have to do a merger, you're either going to have to pay expertise to help you to qualify to become properly legislated, and also things are political. So you just might not get it because you might just not fall into one of the politically friendly businesses. And so there's a lot more to that, and we're not going to get there. But I'm putting in some stuff that can be black swans for you. Maybe you're a person who never heard about it because you never watch the news. Oh, like me, sometimes I don't watch the news for 2 or 3 years. I know you're going to say, oh, you do that, Miss Orbs? Oh, yes. I can tell when last I watched the news. It's been years now. So things might pass me by. I'm living, in a different world. Now, let's move it along. The banks has discriminated against your business and shut down your business accounts, causing you to lose millions in dollars. Even this one I've experienced. Do you remember when the banks, I call them bad mind. When they started to bad mind the cambios, they discriminated against the cambios. They locked down their accounts, and so cambio people can't open a bank account, and yet they actually transact so much money on a daily basis. So they don't have a bank account because the banks will not do business with them. There was a time that they closed down our accounts too at a particular bank, and we had no clue. So I should tell you about that time. I was at the hairdresser feeling myself, getting my hair done, all dolled up and stuff. And I was there having the girls chat in the hairdresser until my phone rang. It was a Saturday afternoon. My phone rang in the hairdresser. It was a 952 number. I'm like, 952? Who could be calling me on the weekend? Then I got a call from that bank. Yes, that same one that begins with the S. And then they said, hello, Miss Forbes. I said, hi, good afternoon. And they said, okay, Miss Forbes, I'm here to tell you that we're going to close down your account. I said, I laughed hysterically, of course. I said, close down my account? They said, yes, Miss Forbes. I said, do you know who you're talking to? Close down my business. Miss, what are you saying? Do you have the correct number? No, Miss Forbes. I know I have the correct number, but I'm very sorry, Miss Forbes, that we're going to have to close your account. It is a part of our policies, and there's no regulation for microlenders in Jamaica, and the bank has decided to close down your account with millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. I said, you have the audacity to call me on a weekend on my private time to tell me you're closing down my account out of your bank and I'm doing business with you for over 10 years? Do you know who you're talking to? I was mad. And then reality hit me. Reality hit me that I had millions of dollars in these people's banks, millions of dollars tied up in their bank. I never in my wildest dream would have thought that a big bank like that would call me and shut down my business account. I said, I don't want a party shop. What do you mean? These people went across the island and closed out several microlenders. That was prejudice. Discriminatory. We lost millions of dollars that we had on standing orders. Our books plummeted. Our clients scattered. They rushed not to pay because they didn't have to pay. And the rest is history. So are you always prepared for a black swan? Luckily, I diversified. Luckily, I never put all my eggs in one basket. I lost millions. In the hairdresser, I began to cry. I couldn't hold back the tears. I started crying. My heart was pounding so fast, I didn't know what to do. I almost peed myself to think that a bank gets up out of nowhere, no warning, and shut down your business account. My whole life was devastated. I thought my business was dead. It might not be the bank for you, but a black swan is coming. And a black swan is coming, and it's very close. It might not be new legislation for you. It might not be your supplier going out of business, but a black swan is coming. Every time there's peace and safety, every time that you see things are going great, something disastrous is about to happen. Okay? So I'm saying, when you look at these things, how do you prepare for this? How do you think the Cambios prepare for this? Even today, they can't have a bank account. How do they manage all that money? You ever thought of that? Now, what do you do in a case where the bank closed down your bank account and you've lost millions of dollars? You're going to try another bank. For us, personally, I have an account with every bank. Business-wise, we have an account with almost all banks. Yes, because I cannot put all my eggs in one basket. I cannot rely on one client to feed my business or me. I cannot rely on one bank to sustain my business. Because if you are not prepared for the unexpected, reality is going to hit you in the head, turn you upside down. So you got to be prepared. I say my modus operandi is, I'm always prepared. So I never have to get ready. I'm always dressed and ready for a meeting. I'm ready for business. I'm ready to make money. I'm always prepared. So I never have to get ready. What if I never had multiple bank accounts? What if I never had the same benefits I had with that bank, with other banks? Can you imagine what would have happened? Many people, many other businesses I know today, right now, loan companies had to shut down because of that event that took place in 2017. So devastating. I went through depression. I cried. I cannot lie. But this is just one of my stories that I'm telling you. I want to move along quickly because of time. So the bank, we're going to cut it. So the bank discriminated. Oh, let's cut out some of the words. The bank closed down all your business account. Let's move to the next one. It's 10 of them. All right. The other one is there's an earthquake, natural disaster. It could be a fire too, a bushfire, hurricane, could be an earthquake, could be a tsunami, and it has destroyed your business, or it has disrupted activities in your business, critically crippling and impacting your business. It could have affected not you, but even your clients. And so you don't have these clients to come and buy from you anymore because they were involved in an earthquake. Some natural disaster has either taken you out or your clients out. What are you going to do? Did you prepare in your business plan, in your contingency plan for a natural disaster? How much money did you set aside in the event the business that you're in crumbles and falls? Do you have enough money to start over at a different location if an earthquake or a hurricane should come at this location? Let's not waste time there. Moving right along. But should in case that happen to you though, and you have some stuff remaining from the hurricane or whatever it is, you should try a yard sale and sell out the stuff that you have as is. You can also wash them and sell them at a little tip higher price. You should also try to see if you can still get your supplier to supply you with additional stuff. You might find that you could just go into a different type of business. Now, What if, number 5, embezzlement of millions and billions of your company's cash by both customers and employees? Man, I have experienced this one too. So embezzlement of your company's cash by employees and customers. It could be or either or in millions. Could be billions too. How do you deal with that? Did you have a contingency plan in place? Did you give that particular manager access to all the company funds? Did you give them access to every dollar in the business? You did not keep some in investments. You did not give limited access to certain amount of funds by certain members of the business or partners in the business. How do you deal with this? You did not put contracts in place. Here comes a lawsuit could take you even 10 years to get back your money. So you're going to need to put proper internal controls in place. But when this happened to me, I put my internal controls in. Let's go to number 6. This one I was faced with the other day. New owners have purchased your building that you have your business on. So new owners, these are things that small entrepreneurs and business people are not prepared to handle. They're not prepared to talk about because they think business is just buying and selling. They don't think about all the intricacies and complexities that comes with business. Financial analysis that you have to put in place, money management, corporate governance. See, small entrepreneurs don't want to talk about these things because they think business is just on a small scale where you could just survive and just do some little things. You sell the goods and you put a markup on it. They don't even take into consideration that your markup should include rent, light, water, and employee salaries. Not just some goods you will have to sell for 10 times the amount, while others you just sell for 2 times or 1.5 times the amount because you have to pay rent for the building that you're in. And so some entrepreneurs have not taken certain things into considerations, and this is why most businesses, 80 to 90% of businesses fail in their first year. Because you need financial management, financial advice. You need financial intelligence. You need to speak with someone who is more educated than you. You need to grow yourself, pump knowledge into yourself, not just getting up to do buying and selling or transact your daily business without educating yourself. Education is not about academia. It's really not about what intellectual accolades you have. It's actually the application of knowledge. So if knowledge is power, then the application of knowledge is superpower. So if you don't apply knowledge to your business and to you as an individual, then you will not grow and you will not be able to deal with these pitfalls when they come in your business because you will not be knowledgeable. Okay? You will not be able to deal with a Black Swan event. Now, so new owners bought your building. And you got notice. So, new owners suddenly take over the building and you just wake up to a notice. I came to my business place one morning. You know me, I'm a fighter. I can't hide that from you. From you look at me, you see it. I'm a warrior. So I woke up one morning and then I got notice. New owners own the building. That's none of my goddamn business. I'm here for over umpteen years. I'm sure it was over 10 years or 13 years in business. I woke up one morning and someone bought the building. I ain't coming out. I'm just a fighter. But you don't follow me. But I'm just saying. New owners who owe you no obligation. So be prepared. I never saw that one coming. In my wildest dreams, I never saw that one. It was a big fight. because I can't come out right now. But you should be prepared and be in negotiations to buy your own building right now. If you're not buying your own building, you should always be eyeing out somewhere else that you could take your building, your business to. Also, you should be making enough profit so that you can expect 3 times increase in your current, 4 times is best. Especially if you're at an area where you pay low rent. If you get notice and you're moving into somewhere else, possibilities of you getting rent for what you're currently paying, nada. No, the possibility is very low. That probability is low. So you will have to think of paying rent at least 4 times more what you're paying, and you have to be prepared for that. If you're going to own your building, that's 10 times more. So you're going to have to be prepared for that. So don't sit in someone's building and think that you belong there and nothing can happen to move you. So make sure you have enough savings. Prepare to buy your own building. Make sure you increase your cash flow. They will have to give you time. Seek a lawyer. Don't be a bad woman. Seek a lawyer. Get your lawyer to have them rescind the contract or something. Extend the contract. Ask some more time. Keep going back to the court and begging for more time until you're able to move. But of course, I can't tell you all these things on here. I'm just mumbling my mouth with some, and you pick sense out of nonsense right now. So let's go to extreme bad credit. I don't know what type of business you might be in. You could be in a restaurant business. You could be in the clothing business. You could be in the loan business like I am. But you're going to come up on extreme bad credit from your customers. This could be from your customers. This could be persons that you're transacting business with. Now, in my case, this is how I explain it. Due to empirical evidence from past customers' behavior that predicted positive patterns, that predicted that these customers were great customers. So, this is what I put down. Due to empirical evidence from past customer behavior patterns, predicting positive trends, but unpredictable and unprecedented outliers have disrupted the trend, resulting in a good customer of 5 years suddenly becoming a bad customer or escaping with cash. That could be for me. So, based upon statistical evidence from mediocre stand, we would have had certain measures by which we would have measured if a client is a good client or not. And of course, they're great because they're borrowing over a period of time and they have reputational credit as well and financial credit. And so, based upon what we've looked at the customer's history, we would have entrusted this customer with even more money because this is a customer for 5 years. But suddenly, this customer just decides to go bad. Because guess what? We weren't thinking of an outlier. We weren't thinking of an extremist. We weren't thinking. We were like the swan, the chicken, getting fed every day. That customer, feeding you every day, and being a good customer, feeding your mind. But they're actually preparing for the day when they're going to escape with your funds. Could be your customer that you credit a whole lot of your jackets to. And you gave them all these jackets. And now, they disappear without a trace with your money and your goods. But that was because you thought they were good before. So now you have extreme bad credit to deal with that is going to cost you money. Let's go to number 8. Number 8 says deception in disguise. This one is funny. I deliberately did this one. Deception in disguise. Okay, now, deception, how is this guy spelled? Is it D-E-S-G-U-I-S-E? Someone spelled this guy to me.
Me?
Mm-hmm. Is it, for some reason, my spelling has gone.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now, Deception in disguise. Would deception be deception? It's DISGUIC? I think I'm mixing up something.
Yeah.
What is it?
DISGUIC.
I know. I wrote it right first. I wrote it right before, and then my brain just started playing tricks on me. Okay, deception would not be deception if it wasn't in disguise. Come on, guys. Deception could not be deception if it was obvious. Okay? So, like I told you, all its life, who is it that was told to be careful from the fox? Who did the shepherd tell? The sheep. All its life, sheep were told to be careful from fox by their masters. But in the end, it's their masters who ate them. Now, think of this guy's deception in your business. It could come from family, it could come from friends, it could come from staff. 7 minutes after the hour, I only have 2 points to go. It could come from staff. Let's use a customer in my case. Think of a customer that met all your requirements, and I've had this one. They met all the requirements. They came with their job letter, they came with their pay slips, came with their bank statements, they gave you assets. And this is a customer who is always borrowing too. And this time you gave them more because they've been with you for over 10 years. And then you did not even get $1 on the loan. And then this customer sold their house, sold their car, did a yard sale with the assets that you use as security. And then they left the country. They migrated. That's a bad debt for you. You ain't getting back that money unless you have jurisdiction over foreign countries. So, when it comes to black swans and pitfalls in business, sometimes they're not going to be obvious, sometimes they will be. Statistical evidence would have showed that this was a good customer and they would be less likely to default. And the probability of default on this customer, they would have a perfect credit score. If the credit score, let's say a perfect credit score is a 10, this customer has 9.8 out of 10. But yet they default after 10 years. And they didn't just default ordinary. They took a larger loan and migrated. See that? And this could be the same in your business. You could be doing business and giving a customer a line of credit. Supply them with all your clothes or all your food. And they take all of this, sell the food, sell the clothes, and then you never see or hear from them again. You did not prepare for all of this because deception always comes in disguise. Now, let's move along to point 9 and then 10. All your investors pull out and ask back for their money plus interest. All your business partners and investors pull out and demand back their principal and interest. What are you gonna do? You started a business with 2 of your friends, maybe 1 family member, 3 of you. They gave you monies to invest. You bought the clothes, or you opened a restaurant, or you opened a loan business, but now you guys have a conflict and they all decide that they want out and they want back all their money. Are you prepared? Were you prepared? Did you put plans in action for this? Now I can tell you, you know I'm a warrior. So I ain't giving them back all their money all at once. They're going to have to take me to the court. Because that means my business is going to sink. So I can create a payment plan and I can give them according to what the business can afford. They don't want it that way, then they can take me to court. You should get a lawyer, and you should be prepared for this. Doesn't matter what anybody tells you. You should be prepared. Now you're going to have to, one, if you have enough money, you can buy them out. And you can offer to pay them now for a reduced cost of what the actual cost of the share is and stuff like that. But of course, that's for another topic. Let's move right along because the time is up to point number 10. Point number 10 says, your staff stole half your client base and start a new business within your company, which creates mass attrition for you. So your staff stole your client base. That happened to me before. So your staff stole your client base. Well, we don't want to say all of them. We want to make it as it is. Your staff stole. This is the last one. Half your client base. And start a new business, creating mass attrition. In your customer base. These are things that you would not be prepared for. So if your staff stole half of your client base, start a brand new business within your company with your documentations and everything, and then you're now facing mass attrition, what do? Ignore the staff. Do not waste time. You must never suffer from myopia. Most times dishonest people don't get far because sometimes these people don't even have the right experience. Don't worry about them. You start by offering your clients maybe a discount, buyback option, vouchers, up your game, up your marketing. Do not pay them any mind. If it is a significant portion, and make sure you would have given them non-disclosure contracts, and you would have given them contracts, with especially those employees with fiduciary responsibilities, that non-competing contracts and stuff like that. So if they do certain things, you can sue them, but you don't waste time to sue them initially and waste your time. Focus on getting back your client base through discounts, better interest rate, because they will not be able to have enough money to out-compete you on interest rates, especially if you start slashing your interest and stuff like that, or slashing your prices of your goods and stuff like that. They're just starting, so their prices would be higher. So stuff like that, you'll have to get some marketing and training advice and branding advice there to help you to do that. So ignore the traitors, do more aggressive marketing, publish that the employee no longer works for you, and of course you need to seek legal advice. Now, I'm not able to give you a lot more. This is the 10 points, and we have gone over the time by 15 minutes. I just want to say to you that a Black Swan is coming. It's now August 2022. I know you're just coming out of a pandemic, but another one is coming. Something huge is about to happen. Something catastrophic is about to happen. Be prepared before. Do not get caught with your pants down. Be prepared. Make sure you're always dressed. Make sure you're always prepared so you never have to get ready. Be prepared for the next Black Swan. Be prepared for the next pandemic. Be prepared for the next disastrous thing that is going to happen. Throughout the entire 6,000 years that they said the earth has been in existence. And you know, I'm not one of those scientists and those people. I'm just repeating statistics. So, there's always been summer, autumn, winter, spring. Summer, autumn, winter, spring. It goes on and on and on. It's just revolving. So year in, year out. And I'm going to probably teach you about that. It's a little theory that I learned from Jim Rohn. What you do in the summer to protect your crops. What you do when it's winter. What you do when it is spring. The different things that you do. And those seasons, they apply to business just the same. Guys, I want to thank you so much for participating. The person that won. Charmaine.
Water bottle.
Okay, so you're going to get a water bottle, Charmaine. You need to come by the office and pick up your water bottle. Thank you so much.
She's also the most active.
If you enjoyed the presentation, can you write Black Swan in the comments? And let me do the last credit and go, guys. Thank you for staying with me over the hour. What credit did I give away before? A flow. Credit is not for you.
Hey.
Yes, this is for my customers. Now, here you go, guys. This is a flow credit we did. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's do a Digicel. We did a flow before. Let's do a Digicel.
I go Charmille.
Okay, look to see if anyone makes any comment there.
Charmille.
Okay. Now, let's go, guys. This is a Digicel. Thanks for your time. Those of you who have stayed with us until the end, here is your prize. 270-952-458-4972. Thank you so much. Let's reread the flow credit. And you can rewatch the show if you did not hear it. 396-285-535-87963. I hope someone did catch the credit. They were both. Oh, one credit is more expensive. Okay, they're both $100 credit. Oh, who knew that? Did you all knew one credit was more expensive than the other? I never knew that. Okay, guys, I want to thank you so much for participating. Thank you for taking the time out of your schedule to participate in the show. Have yourselves a lovely day.
Charmille.
Okay.
Charmille again.
Okay, Charmille. Yes, you receive it. I'm so happy. Okay, congratulations. Guys, tag a friend, tell a friend. We are going to save the live, and you can go underneath the live and post. And if there's anything else that you'd like me to talk about, you can let me know. Thank you so much.
Remind about the business. There's several entrepreneurs.
Yes, so guys, I want to remind you, remember that we're at Shop 3 Mintaplex Plaza, 35 Church Street, Montego Bay. Also, we have a brand new promotion right now, and that is if you're 1 year employed or running your business for even 1 year plus, then you can call us and we can give you a car loan for up to $2 million. That's right, so call us. 876-433-6471. Maybe you can tap that number for them. That's 876-433-6471. And also, guys, we have a promotion for back to school. If you get like $250,000 and up, you get a $15,000 back to school voucher. Check out our pages, guys. Follow us on YouTube. So we're here for you. Also, those of you who probably need bridge financing, you can borrow our money on a trial loan. Try out our loan, you don't like it, you return it. That's right. So try out our loans, and if you are not, if you don't need it for a long time, you can return it without paying 0% interest. So call us 876-818-4912 or 876-433-6471. It was my pleasure. 876-433-6471. It was my pleasure serving you today. If you're just joining us, then we are at the end of Let's Talk BMM, Business, Money, and Mentorship. I'm your host, Danisha Forbes, and I'm a people servant, and it was my pleasure serving you today. Bye.
Okay, and at the end this.
Mm-hmm.